Hello, moviegoers, and welcome to another edition of Have You Seen It? I am your host, Denise, and I'm going to get right to this week's review. I was able to go to the theater to see this movie, and the title of this movie is The Last Voyage of the Demeter. It stars Corey Hawkins and Liam Cunningham. They are the major characters, and they play Dr. Clemens and Captain Elliot, respectively, in this movie. All right, so in this movie, it is based on a single chapter, okay, of the captain's log. So that's the chapter from Bram Stoker's Dracula, and this novel came out 1897. So we're just dealing with just one chapter, and in this chapter, the Demeter is on a voyage from Carpathia, I believe that's how you pronounce it correctly, and it's on its way to London. Okay, so it's a Russian schooner, but it's quite vast. When you watch the movie and you see all the layers of this particular vessel, it looks like it's pretty vast. So this voyage is some precious cargo. There are 24 unmarked wooden crates that are being transported to London. So as the movie begins, the ship, or the ship vessel is docked, and everything is being loaded onto the ship to prepare for the voyage. And then there is, let's say, a line of people who are kind of vying for a spot on this vessel to help transport this cargo. So you have, let's say, the first mate who is going down the line, taking a look at everybody who's waiting in line, hoping for a chance to take this voyage. And that's where he meets Dr. Clemens. And at first meeting, he kind of, gives him the, nah, I don't think you are somebody we want to take on this voyage. Even though he is a doctor, he's very intelligent, he's very smart, he is very seaworthy, he knows all about astrology and the stars and all of those sorts of things. He could be an asset to the crew, but at first he is kind of dismissed. Well, when the cargo is being loaded onto the vessel, one of the crates kind of slips and crashes to the ground, and one of the gentlemen who has been chosen, to take the journey kind of is like, whoa, wait a minute. There's something about that cargo that's giving me the heebie-jeebies, and I don't think I want to take this voyage, and I don't think any of you should take the voyage. So, of course, he is dismissed, and so that allows Dr. Clemens the opportunity to travel. So this voyage is going to take quite a while, to get from the starting point all the way to London. On the ship, you've got a crew of, I guess, about, 6 to 8 people. There's a little boy on the ship as well. So everybody has a job. Everybody has a responsibility. And everybody knows what their task is in order to get to London. On the journey, Captain Elliot does tell his first mate, hey, this is going to be my last voyage. I'm going to retire. And once we get to London, I'd like you to take over the helm of the Demeter. And so dude is like, whoa, gee, thanks. Okay, cool. So as the voyage continues, things start to get a little bit weird. Okay. So the crew has a signal that they use to alert one another that something might be, somebody might be in trouble or somebody may need help or it's time to change shifts. So this is our signal. They knock on the vessel, which is wooden, they knock on it, and that sound is heard all throughout the vessel. So nobody can say, I didn't hear you call me when it was time for my shift. So when things start to go wrong, you've got this creepy feeling on this ship. You're hearing things, you think you saw something, and there's a lot of side eye going on, looking around, like I hear something, I don't know what it is, I think I saw something, let me go check it out. So you got that kind of thing going on this ship. And when that starts to happen, that is when our stowaway, if you will, is revealed in quite creepy fashion. So, of course, the crew members, some of you might make it, some of you may not. Some of you may encounter this, stowaway, if you will, and some of you may try to defend yourself and the ship. But you gotta see the movie to see how all of that transpires. I will say this. It's got a nice little creepy vibe going on because a lot of what the crew sees happens at night. So as the vessel is traveling at night, it's very dark. You can only walk throughout the ship with a lantern. So if you don't have that, you can't see where you're going. You can't see what's behind this crate, who's creeping up behind you, and who is about to make your life miserable. Okay? So it's got that feel. It's gloomy. The background music really fits the scene and the atmosphere and the build-up. So that part, I really enjoy. Now, I tell you this, Dracula in this movie is takes on a different persona than what we're used to seeing when, the Bela Lugosi Dracula who was in human form, dressed to the nines in his tuxedo and his cape, walking around looking, just like everybody else in town until, they meet their demise. But in this movie, Dracula takes on a beast-like presence. And the design of this Dracula in this beastly presence was pretty cool, I may add. So we know how Dracula rolls. He's there to bite that neck and take a chunk out of you, and you know what happens next. So the gory part is there, I tell you. Could have been a little bit more, but what they showed was had a nice little gruesome factor. So if you are into Dracula, the whole Dracula scene and his story and all of that, you can check this movie out. It's about 2 hours, and at the end, in my opinion, is a nice setup for a potential sequel. So I'm going to leave it there. So you're going to have to go see this movie so that maybe you agree, yeah, I think that there's room for a sequel, or no, it's good where it ended. But check that out if you like a little, one little creepiness in your life this summer as you're going to the movies. All right, so I am going to jump right into my Nailed It for this week. And my Nailed It for this week is Chris Pine from the movie Hell or High Water. Okay, let me tell you something. In this movie, Chris Pine's character and his brother are, robbing banks because they're trying to, get money to pay off a loan on their house. But anyway, in this movie, he is the brother who's a little bit more level-headed, all right? But in this particular scene, he blows a gasket, and it happens so quickly that when I watched it again on Hulu, I had to rewind it. It happened so fast. The gas station scene where him and his brother roll up to the gas station to just get some gas, go in to get a soda and some chips and going about their business, when they encounter, some young buck who's talking trash and so forth and so on. When Chris Pine comes out of the mini mart and sees what's going on, he beat him down in about 90 seconds, if that. It was fantastic to watch. So that is my nailed it. Chris Pine in Hell or High Water, giving the gas station beat down. All right, folks, you can subscribe to our YouTube channel. Make sure you hit that like button. And remember, we are available on every podcast platform in the universe. Just type in, "Have you seen it?" with Denise, and there I will be. All right, friends. So until next week, you know exactly what to do. I need you to go see a movie because I'm going to see a movie. Bye-bye.